afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. The good news is cancer patients are surviving longer. In Vermont alone, there are nearly 30,000 adult cancer survivors. Unfortunately, there is often a gap in services between a patient's clinical cancer treatments and the ongoing recovery and wellness programs they need to remain healthy over the remainder of their lifetimes. Survivorship Now is helping to close the gap. Survivorship Now offers wellness programs for all Vermont cancer survivors. To learn more, I'm joined by the program coordinator of Survivorship Now, Susie McNamara. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Judy.
Now, for people who don't know, what is Survivorship Now?
Survivorship Now is a cancer wellness program designed to help cancer survivors in all stages of wellness, whether they are currently in treatment, whether they are moving post-treatment, if they're 20 years out. And basically we provide services in all areas of wellness and fun and community to just help them just enjoy life more.
And so how is Survivorship Now funded?
We're funded through the Lake Champlain Dragon Boat Festival, and our presenting sponsor is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Vermont, and they have also given us the initial grant to get us started. And what that means is, with the help of Blue Cross Blue Shield Vermont, as well as the local community, each and every one of our people nearby, every donation they give goes to us for the Lake Champlain Dragon Boat Festival, and that ultimately helps every cancer survivor.
And so what kind of classes and things does Survivorship Now offer?
Anything from watercolor painting to music therapy to yoga classes. We have nutritional classes. We have some healthy living classes who help us. PT360 helps us quite a bit. We're going to start a new hula hooping class. So it's really, we're on the fun side of the treatment and wellness. So we just welcome everyone in to have a good time.
So you don't need a doctor's referral, you don't need anything other than an interest in participating?
That's 100% correct. It's just an interest in participating. We certainly welcome people to bring a caregiver or a supporter so that they feel welcome and more comfortable as they come into a new environment.
And it's free?
It's free. It's free to all cancer survivors thanks to Blue Cross Blue Shield of Vermont, the Lake Champlain Dragon Boat Festival, and the local community people who donate.
And so why is it important for cancer survivors to take part in something like this?
The biggest issue that we have found is that people go through treatment and they're very well protected in this medical community within this little cocoon, and they have this set protocol. And the doctors and the nurses tell them what to do and when. And once they get a clean bill of health or are given a whatever final status, then they don't have anything. They have no one to relate to. They have, a few people to work with. So we just open our doors, we welcome them in. They know that when they come in, it's a very similar community, and that it's just wonderful for them to have a nice, comfortable place to come.
So doctors and medical professionals help get people back on their feet, but then going forward, what does the rest of their life look like? Exactly.
And we just offer that in any variety of ways. We welcome any new instructors that would love to offer something. We love to have people come in, and the medical community even come in and see what we're doing.
So this sounds like there's always something new, too.
Yes, we are constantly expanding the programs to just help everyone and touch all the different concepts of life that people want to enjoy and try new things, like our art classes, like our music therapy. People are usually very conscientious of themselves and don't want to participate, but it's really important. We have a great time, and there is no judgment. There's no pressure walking in the door. We're here for you. And wherever you are in your fitness, your wellness, your mindset, we start with where you're at. We have extremely experienced instructors, professionals in both the medical field and other fields to help you just start with where you're at and take that first step, take a second step.
And so why do you think it's important for cancer survivors to be together through this kind of program?
Because people understand them. I mean, like for myself, my mother is a breast cancer survivor, and I can empathize with her, I can support her all that, I can, but I don't really understand what she's gone through. So therefore, when you're around other people, there's just that immediate knowing, and therefore when they come in, they have that support.
Now, you talked about breast cancer, but this is for any cancer survivor.
That's one of the most critical things, is that we are for all types of cancer, whether it's gallbladder, prostate, testicular, any type of cancer that you've had, and at any stage of your recovery. And of course, the doctors are the ones that can say whether or not, you know, someone should take a physical fitness class or not. But ultimately, it's for all cancer survivors, and that's something critical for everyone to know.
Why is it important for caregivers to also be involved?
There's great emotional stress on a caregiver too. Obviously, they love, you know, whomever has been afflicted.
Right.
And they have their own issues. And so it's healing for them, as well as giving that support of coming into a new environment. So a survivor is saying that, yes, I am a survivor. And you're saying that walking through the door. And people can be pretty conscientious about that. So how do we make that easy for them? And one of the best ways is to bring someone that they know and trust.
And so what are some of the comments or feedback that you've heard from people who are involved?
Basically that it's a no pressure zone, that it's very easy, that it's a lot of fun, that it makes, you know, major changes in their lives, and that they're comfortable with where they're at, and they really love the progress.
Mm-hmm. And we're reading some of the quotes now on screen, and it's pretty powerful stuff.
It's amazing to see what people have experienced, and it's more important what they say than what I have to say, quite frankly.
Well, joining us now is Carolyn Subin. She is an instructor in Survivorship Now's Art as Healing class. Thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
And so as a cancer survivor yourself and a psychotherapist, in your view, what are some of the benefits to cancer survivors receive from taking some of these classes?
I've had some experience in doing art workshops with people who are dealing with a variety of kinds of struggles. And there's something about sharing. When you have had cancer, you have had quite a trauma that people kind of, it goes way beyond medical treatment. You are suddenly much more aware of your own morbidity and even mortality. And you need to be in the company of other people who have had that scare and can share an experience that is uplifting and healing. It turns out that watercolor painting lends itself to that gentle experience if you are in an encouraging and supportive environment and will allow yourself to play with colors on paper.
So tell us about the class that you instruct.
I have had the privilege of working with anywhere from 4 to 8 people at a time. We provide the materials for people to use in the room, and we freely explore the process of putting paint on paper and enjoying it with one another. Each of us does it slightly differently, and we are really quite thrilled with the products of our friends and ourselves.
Undoubtedly. I mean, there's no doubt, Carolyn, you know, for those of us that don't think that we can draw a stick figure and we come home with something that we're really proud of and can actually put on our walls and get complimented for, it's just an amazing process for people.
It's really fun.
Do you think that's the biggest hurdle, is someone will say, well, I'm not a painter, I'm not an artist?
I think that people should be aware that the idea of joining this group is to essentially tapping into the child inside each of us, and it is impossible if you let yourself go not to enjoy watching the medium take care of making the painting pretty much all by itself on the paper if you just sort of get out of the way.
So true.
And so what are some of the things that you tell your students?
I try to greet everybody when they get there, and I am not an art teacher. I am a facilitator. I want it to be the experience. I care much more about the process than the product, which is what I tell them. And I often start by showing them. They pick a picture, and I will, or bring in a picture or a photograph, and I show them some ways in which they may be able to accomplish making what they would like to make.
Mm-hmm. How much of it is imagination driven?
Oh, I think most of it, if not all of it. You just have to free up your own imagination and think about what you love to look at, look around you, and figure out, would it be fun to put those flowers on a piece of paper?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're a professional or not.
Not at all.
And so, as we've noted, Survivorship Now is free and open to all cancer survivors. To get more information, you can call 802-777-1126, or you can visit the website. The address is www.survivorshipnow.org. The website lists information about upcoming classes and special events. It also spells out the various ways to become involved with Survivorship Now, whether that's as a presenter, a volunteer, or a cancer survivor. Once again, it's 802-777-1126. 888-522-4826. And to hear and learn more now from a survivor's perspective, we're joined now by Susan Wargo, who participates in Survivorship Now classes, and her husband, Bill Wargo. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Susan, share with us how you got involved with Survivorship Now.
Well, I think I saw a notice or a card at one of my follow-up visits at my oncologist. I had a diagnosis of colon cancer in 2008, and one of the things that was really important to me in my recovery and while I was in treatment, there was a yoga class being given for cancer patients at the hospital at that time. And then for a variety of reasons that was discontinued. And so when I saw the notice about Survivorship Now, I followed up on that, and they can't keep me away now.
Tell me about some of the other classes, too, that you've participated in.
Well, as I said, the yoga class, and I've also participated in the watercolor class that Carolyn teaches, which has been very rewarding for me. And I've tried the there have been several classes at Healthy Living, cooking classes, which again, that was something a little outside my comfort zone that I was able to do. And I've also done different individual classes about nutrition and some other exercise type classes.
And the music therapy.
And the music therapy. There's a new, where just people who are just enjoying music and singing, and as opposed to a performance group.
And so can you express a little bit about how Survivorship Now has affected your life?
It's definitely, I think it's given me a structure, a place where I can take care of myself, both physically and in other ways. It stretches me, not just in yoga, but also stretching, giving me a chance to try things I didn't think were possible before. But in this atmosphere, which both Carolyn and Susie described as very welcoming, and with other people who've gone through a similar life experience, which is really important for me. And so I think it's, as I said, I've had a chance to try things that I didn't really think were possible before and enjoy them, and who knows where that will take me.
And so, Bill, I want to bring you into the conversation, too, as a caregiver. How have you seen Survivorship Now benefit your wife?
In a number of ways. First, some of which I think she mentioned. First of all, I think that she's made a number of connections with people in the community who have had similar kinds of experiences. Secondly, I think that she really benefits from the programs themselves. She talked about the yoga, for example, and I know every time she comes back from a yoga class, she's really invigorated and ready to go. And the nutrition classes, I think, have been especially kind of expanding. There was one, for example, that we attended that taught us how to make sushi, and Susan experienced sushi. And another one, even more significantly, I think, was a class that taught us how to make mussels, and it was the first time that Susan had experimented with making mussels and eating mussels too, as I think was true of some of the other people in that particular program too. So in general, I think it's really made her enjoy life more, which is one of the things I think Susie emphasized right at the beginning of the program.
And so, Susie, we have about a minute left. How can our viewers get more involved or help Survivorship Now?
Very easy to start out with how they can get involved very easily. You can call me at 802-777-1126. You can go to our website, which is www.survivorshipnowvt.org. You can stop by the office, which is over in the Whitecap Business Park in Williston. And to get involved or to support us, we have the Lake Champlain Dragon Boat Festival. And as I said earlier, any money that's donated comes to help us improve our programs, helps people like Susan and Bill, and to all of you viewers as well. And we just appreciate everything in our efforts to help all cancer survivors.
And you're also looking for volunteers, too.
Certainly need volunteers at the festival as well as at the office.
Okay, well, I want to thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you.
That's our program for today. I'm Judy Simpson. We'll see you again next time on Across the Fence. you.